So you guys were one. I'm hearing a lot of you guys. You guys wanted a theme song shortened, so here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. Sometimes she plays them. So does that. And when she does it with the cat, does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. So it's shorter. There you go. Crazy Cat Lady or Martha Butler does not own any trailers or pictures. I use them under fair use, educational, for education and entertainment purpose.
Well, hey everybody, it's me, Shane Kippel, spinner from Degrassi. I know, yes, I'm aging like a fine wine. Don't stop with the compliments. I can't take all of that. I'm blushing. I'm blushing. Right here though, I'm here for a different reason. Make sure you subscribe to Crazycatlady's channel, so you could see, lots of Degrassi type content. Okay, and you might hear some stories. You might get some different takes, like this take right now.
Hi everybody, Martha here. So, like Shane says, the guy who plays Spinner, Gavin. My take on this season 5 of Degrassi. Next, so is next generation is. Let's get this all the characters I can name out. Let's get the new ones that show up in this season out of the way. The main one that shows up in this season is a character I still have no reason not to like. Until this show gives me a reason to like it, and by the end, when I stopped watching the show for a while, I still hated him. The show never gave me a reason to like him. If you like him, fine, that's okay. You're allowed to like this character, but I don't like this character. His name is Peter, Miss Hakalasko's son, and the main reason why I don't like him is what he does in his very first episode, and that is when he's completely sober. Manny's not. He records her taking off her dress, taking off her clothes here, and he films it and gives it to a lot of people in the school. I mean, not done it to everybody, but everybody, only person who had seen her boobs before now was, as far as we knew, was Craig, and now everybody has, and Jimmy. I don't blame Jimmy here. He's being a guy. I mean, him saying, "My Manny Santos, how you grown?" And yep. So now everybody has, basically, and even if he helps Emma here through the her fact that for her throwing up and her wanting to lose weight, her being stressed out and stuff like that, and her going through her parents, Mr. Simpson cheating on her mom, and so yep. Even though he helped Emma through that, I still don't like him, and I don't get why Mandy would ever forgive him. I would never forgive him if I was her. So anyway, and that's basically the first character. Another character I don't like is Darcy. She is a representation of a Christian girl. At first I liked her until she started getting jealous of Manny, Paige, and whoever was the other girl that Spinner had sex with, and her getting mad at him for not being clean until she met him, not being not having sex until she started dating he started dating her. And you should not blame when as a Christian you're not supposed to blame somebody for their past. You're supposed to accept them for who they are no matter what. And the fact that she wanted Spinner to be not to have sex or for her was not the very best thing for her to do. So in this season, I know when later on in life, she's had later on in the season she's had bad things happen to her. But we're not there yet. But her getting jealous over Spinner because he might have done. We know he did it with Manny and Paige. I don't know who this other girl is. We never find out who this third girl is because she said two other women besides Manny. We know one of them has to be Paige. So yeah, and I think those are the ones that are characters now in the show. If there's anybody else, they haven't gotten a story done on them yet. That's new. Okay, they might be just background characters right now. So I don't really. Do you want to let me know if I forgot anybody else that's new? Let me know. But if they're not anything else besides a background character, don't mention them. Okay, they had to have a main storyline happening in the episodes. Okay. So I know Darcy showed up last season, but last season she was only a person that Rick kissed. She was mainly a background character. This season's when she starts to be an actual character, if you will. Okay. Even though her name's not, I don't think her name shows up on the theme song till next season. So yeah. As far as I'm guessing. So, let's get on to the old game. Now we got the two characters I can remember that are new. Yeah, Miss Hasselasso. I guess we can do Miss Hackaslassos, the principal, because she's on the theme song now too. So basically, she and Mr. Simpson, Archie, Snake, both start having an affair because Archie's going through a midlife crisis because he had cancer last season. He's having a hard time, and he started cheating on being a motorcycle. Started cheating on Spike, and basically, yep. That's basically what's going on with those two. That's basically her storyline. And she takes Peter's camera away afterwards. So yeah. And okay, so those are the, even though Miss Hasselasso has been on the show since probably like the second season, because she was because JT had that little big crush on her. So, but now she's the actual principal. She's actually has her name on she's actually one of the actors they show in the theme song after she took over Radage. So yeah. So there you go. There's your characters are now they're on the theme song. In one that's probably I don't think it's not, but I consider Darcy a character for this season on, even though the theme song doesn't. So let's get on to the old game. So let's see. Let's do Spinner. Spinner first. Spinner is dealing with the fact that none of his friends are talking with him. Basically, because Jimmy blames him for him getting shot, and he has to go and find new friends, and keep himself not being a bully. And so he goes and joins the friendship club, the Christian club, at Degrassi. And basically, up until the end of the season, Jimmy still hates him. Marco, Paige, and Craig slowly go back to him being his friend. Hazel, I don't think she ever does go back to being his friend. But those three do eventually. I think the first one is to go back to being his friend is Marco. But it wasn't easy for Marco either because who he's hanging out with. And yes, from being a Christian myself, I don't, it took me a while to come around myself, but I eventually did come to accept gays and stuff like that. But there still are some like out there that like that one guy who tells Marco, I forgot his name, that's a background character in the show. As far as I know, he never becomes a main character. If he does, let me know. I never seen him do it when I was watching it. Tells him that you shouldn't be allowed in church. I think otherwise. I think that they should be able to go to church. I think that they should be able to stay what they are and go to church. But not all of them think that, and this is one the stupid background character does not think that. And that's when Spinner stops hanging out with them, and Spinner also lets Jay come pick him up afterwards. After he finds out the same guy finds out about Jimmy, because Darcy couldn't keep her mouth shut, and tells her friend, and she tells her boyfriend, and yep, he's not. And the weird thing is, we never see this happen on the show, but both the actors, both Jay and Spinner, Shane, both of them got tattoos. They never show how they on the show, but they got tattoos. Like one Spinner got one on his leg, and Jay has one on his arm. So I noticed that. Do you guys ever notice that? So I just thought I'd like to note. That's not I'd like to mention that. We never see how those two characters get them, but they have them. So anyway, Jay, I think that's basically it with Spinner. But eventually Jimmy does make up with him by the end of the season. But that's basically it. Now Jay is still not going to school because he got himself expelled, and he's still the regular troublemaker of the Degrassi. See, who does Jay get in trouble this season? Who does Jay get in trouble this season? Who should we start with? Oh yeah, Emma. He makes Emma. Well, it was last season. Jay gets JT in trouble this season by making him become a drug dealer because JT gets Liberty pregnant and has to find some way to keep the baby and without anybody finding out. But the first person who finds out besides those two is Danny, because Danny figures out because he sees the fact that JT's reading a pregnancy book, and it's the same one that I've seen my sisters read when they were pregnant, and he figures out that way, and he forces him to do his life homework or whatever home ec, whatever that thing is where you have to learn how to take care of a baby. For me, it was an egg. You have to learn how to take care of an egg. Man, eggs are easy to take care of though, because you just put them in the refrigerator, put on it, "Do not eat me," instead of a doll. So, but they are fighting over the dumb doll, and the dumb dog gets run over by a car, and eventually JT can't take care of the baby because in Canada, uh, the apartments cost a lot of money, and he can't afford it with his job that he has that he got at the mall, which is drugs, the uh, drugs like medical shops, and he ends up selling one of the drugs, um, oxycodone, to a druggie. I think if it's the same guy who stole Craig's guitar from last season, let me know. He looks as the same guy, but he probably isn't. Um, and he gives him the money, and then eventually he gives it to the person he's going to buy the apartment from. But that's non-defundable, and eventually JT ends up taking the drugs, and no more doses. And then this makes Liberty and him decide to put the baby up for adoption, and this is when Liberty's parents find out, and JT's grandma finds out, pretty much. And yep, the baby goes up for adoption. Oh yeah, we also got Derek that shows up in this season. Now Derek is Danny's friend, but in this season Derek is mostly two things we find about Derek this season. He eventually comes friends with Jimmy, not the best way to come best, because he ends up teasing a cripple and saying and asking, but he ends up finding out that you shouldn't do that because he tries to outshoot him with basketball, but no, Jimmy beats him, and eventually he becomes friends with him, and we also find out that Derek is adopted because he asks Liberty about it, and Liberty gets mad, but he tells her, I understand why my mom gave me up for adoption, because she couldn't take care of me just like you couldn't take care of your baby. So, yep. So that's basically what's going on with Jay. Jay is still the troublemaker. He has to learn to accept that Alex is becoming a lesbian, and he wants to still date her, but he can't. And she starts dating Paige. Basically, what's going on with that season is Alex, that she becomes a lesbian this season. So, and she starts dating Paige. Paige, I guess Paige only, I know later on in the show she says the only woman she ever dated was Alex. So I guess she's bisexual, but she mostly does date guys. We never see her dating our girl, so that's true. And with Paige, she mostly what happens to her, she breaks up with Matt, and she gets high before she goes to go to college, and while she's going to see the first new couple people transfer to college, she's high during it. So that's basically what's going on with Paige. Jimmy has to deal with the fact that he doesn't want to anymore, but he doesn't play basketball anymore. He starts drawing, and which is pretty good art. But Ellie and him, I'd rather Ellie date him than Craig, because how Craig always treats her like she's only supposed to be her friend, be Ellie's friend, and only one he's really interested in is Manny and Ashley. And Ashley stays until the last episode. She stays in England, and breaks up with Craig over the online, and they allowed Ellie on the band, and Ellie gets jealous. Manny calls Ellie ugly. Ellie is not ugly. She's one of the best characters in this show. Matt, not good job, Manny. Not good job. And basically, I really wish that Ellie would choose Jimmy here, because I think Jimmy would treat her better than what Craig ends up treating her. We're not too. Craig ends up leaving, going on tour, and he doesn't graduate high school. He goes solo and leads the band because he gets recruited, and only one thing he wanted was he didn't want Marco, he didn't want Ellie, he didn't want Jimmy, he wanted only Craig. So yeah, the band's breaking up and Craig goes on his own, and he dates Maddie and helps her get through with the fact that she gets kicked out from her dad because her dad calls her a slut because she wanted to get a boob problem, and Craig helps her with that. So at least Craig is a good guy there. I just really wish he would not be the way he is to Ellie. I'm happy he helps Manny for her problems though. So yeah, and Manny goes to live with Emma until then because her dad is really very mean. So yep, and Marco has to deal with the fact, or I think we already talked about having Marco. He has to deal with the fact that he tries to hand out tampons, tampons, tries to help people control sex. Since last year they had a gonorrhea outbreak, so they start handing out self-help protect stuff from having the same thing happen again, and that's when the friendship club gets mad, and they end up that's when that fight happens. But yep, I think they should, because not everybody's going to be Christian. They should find ways to control you from stop getting sick when they have sex. Okay. So yeah. Sorry about that. My dogs are barking. Alright, dogs out. So, let's see. I think I got and basically Hazel breaks up with Jimmy because since Jimmy starts feeling feelings for Ellie here. So, not sadly again, Hazel doesn't get much character this season. Neither does Toby. I don't only thing that I think Toby only gets happens that he learns about their pregnancy too, and that's basically it. So yeah, Toby doesn't agree with what's happened to him this season either. So yeah. So I think only one. Emma. Yeah, Emma starts wanting to lose weight, even though she doesn't really need to. I think it's mostly the fact she's stressing out, and she starts coming. I think the word is bulimic, and starts to throw up, and not eating. Every time she does, she ends up throwing up. So, and she gets put in the hospital. And then we get to see the kids. We get to see Paige, Marco, Ellie, Hazel graduate. Ashley doesn't graduate. Jimmy doesn't graduate. Spinner doesn't graduate. Craig doesn't graduate. Craig doesn't go back to school. We might get a JD. Ashley does. Jimmy and Spinner end up having to take another semester because Spinner was expelled for a little while and Jimmy was in the hospital. So they didn't get all their credits. So, yeah. So they have to repeat grade 12. So, yeah. And basically that's it. I think Alex graduates too, but I know later on she goes back to get more credits. So, yeah. So, basically, I think that's about it. If I forgot anything, let me know. But that's basically it, guys. for season 5 of Degrassi. Hope you guys enjoy this review. If you have anything to say, go ahead. Go ahead. Do you have any stories to add? Go ahead. Have any opinions? Any any characters you like or dislike? Go ahead. Do you have a different take on the season than I do? Go ahead. Not everybody will have the same take on any show, but I do like this season. It's a great season. Yeah, there's a lot of things I never went through for this season in my life, but it's great to still watch the show and learn about things that people went through that I never went through. And things that you ever went through or probably did. I don't know. So, I'll see you guys later. Like, favorite, and subscribe. And remember, Degrassi. And they'll make it through. Somehow. And so were you. And so will I. So, bye-bye.